Welcome back to another test walkthroughs video. Today we'll be going over the March 2021 SAT exam for Section 3, Math Test No Calculator. If you have any comments or questions about the test itself, or you'd like to reach out to me, just comment in the comment section below in the video. Okay, number 1. The function h is defined by h of x equals to negative 1/4 x minus 2, which is the graph of y equals to h of x. So the first thing I see here is a negative slope. So negative slope means that a and b are out, and the slope is negative 1/4. So that means that the vertical rise is not as steep as the horizontal run. So the answer here should be D for number 1. Number 2, what's the positive solution to the given equation? 91 minus 10 gives you 81, which is equal to x squared. The square root x should be equal to 9. For number 3, what value of x satisfies the given equation? So you want to solve for x. Can we just guess it over here and just solve it real quick? All right, I'll solve it. X plus 7 equals to 3x minus 9, minus x on both sides, plus 9 on both sides. 2x is equal to 16 divided by 2. X is equal to 8 for number 3. Number 4, a line in the xy plane has a slope of 1 and passes through the point 0, 2, which is an equation of the line. So the slope means that x equals to 1, the y-intercept is equal to 2. So C should be the answer because you have a slope of 1 and a y-intercept of 2. Number 5, from 1990 to 2001, Germany currency included coins called Pfennings, okay, or Pfennings. Maybe the P is silent. Whoever knows German or know about the German currency, please let me know. From 1990 to 2001, the German currency, the Pfennig, worth 1 Pfennig each, and 1 Groschen worth 10 Pfennigs each. Which equation represents the number of Pfennig coins represented by P and Groschen coins by G that have a combined value of 85 Pfennigs? Okay, so if we do this, we know that a Pfennig is worth 1, and we know that a Groschen is worth 10, and we want to get a total of 85. So Pfennig is 1, Groschen is 10. For number 5, the answer should be B. Okay, number 6. If x is greater than 0, which of the following is equivalent to 1 over x plus 1 over 2x? So they want us to combine fractions over here. So what I'll do is I'll multiply top and bottom of the first fraction by 2 because you need to have the same denominator in order to combine fractions. It becomes 2 over 2x plus 1 over 2x, which is equal to 3 over 2x. The answer for number 6 is C. Number 7. In the graph of the xy plane of the equation above is a circle. All right, so this is a circle. What are the coordinates of the center of the circle? So what you do is to find the center of the circle is you take this middle term. So you're going to take negative 10 over 2, and you're going to get negative 5. And then you're going to take this middle term, and you're going to take 6 divided by 2, and you're going to get positive 3. But then what you do is that these are the values that are going to be put into the equation where it's going to say x minus 5 squared plus y plus 3 squared. So equation-wise, this is what it looks like, okay? But the actual coordinates itself are going to be the opposite of these. So it's going to be 5, comma, negative 3. So the answer should be C for number 7. Okay, so let me just erase this part over here. Sorry, erase this part over here so we have some more room for number 9 later. And let me rewrite it just so that you guys can see it. So again, for number 7, it should be x minus 5 squared plus y plus 3 squared. And we get those numbers by taking negative 10 divided by 2, which gives us a negative 5. And then we take positive 6 divided by 2, which gives us the positive 3. And then what you do is you take the opposite signs, okay, to get your center, which leads to answer choice C. All right, number 8. When graphed in the xy plane, what point xy is the solution to the given system of inequalities? Okay, so in order to do this one, you can either try to visualize it, so you can either graph it. The other way that you can do it is just to start plugging in the numbers over here and see which one works. I'm going to start with A just to see what happens. So if I do A, I'm going to get 1 is greater than 4 times 1, which is not true. So I know that's not A already. I'm going to try answer choice B. So B should be negative 2 is greater than or equal to 4 times negative 2. So that would be negative 2 is greater than negative 8, which is true so far. And then I'm also going to test out the other answer here. So it would be negative 2 is less than negative of negative 2. Negative 2 is less than positive 2, which also checks out. So luckily enough, 8 is answer choice B. Now, you're welcome to try the other ones as well, but usually because of this double negative, I could also see that it should work out because of the double negative over here. But you can test this out just to make sure. I mean, obviously, this is the test, so you should always test everything just to make sure. But for the sake of time in this video, I'll allow you guys to do that, okay? Number 9. The equation of h is equal to 150 plus 10t. And it gives the total number of housing units, h, in the community t months after a new zoning law was passed. How many housing units are added to the community each month after the zoning law was passed? So they're just asking how many are added each month. They're asking about the slope. So the answer here should be 10. So 9, the answer is A. Number 10, which expression is equivalent to 2x squared plus 3x minus 2 minus, okay, so they want us to just distribute the negative signs here. So 2x squared minus a negative 3x squared is negative 3x squared. So it's either C or D. Then we have 3x is going to plus x. 3x is going to plus x, which gives us 4x. So number 10, the answer should be D. 11, the graph in the xy plane of the equation above contains the point A comma B. If negative 1 is less than or equal to A, which is less than or equal to 1, which of the following is not a possible value of B? Okay, so for number 11, we have, let's see if we can visualize this. So this gives us the roots. The roots are going to be plus 1, negative 1, negative 2. So the roots are going to be negative 2, negative 1, and a positive 1. Next, we know that this is a third value function. So with a positive x cubic, so it's a positive x cubed, which means a positive x cubed graph usually looks something like that, right? So we're just going to copy the same shape. It's going to go there, there, and there, okay? Hitting all of the roots, okay? So write down all the roots again. And it says A is some value where it's going to be between negative 1 and positive 1. So I know that my A is somewhere in here. Okay. Which of the following is not a possible value of B? Well, we know that it can't be a positive number, right? Because as you can see, all of the parabola is underneath the x-axis. So all the y values are going to be underneath the x-axis. As you can see, from here to here, this is all the possible values of y. And it could also include the zeros because it says that it could be negative 1 or it could be positive 1. So that means that y could also be 0. but it can't be anything that is positive. So the answer choice for number 11 should be D. Circle it there. Oh, I don't know why it's so light. Let's see. All right, there we go. All right, so 11 is D. Number 12, two beach balls are each in the shape of a sphere. Okay, the larger beach ball has a diameter of 3x and the smaller beach ball has a diameter of x. What is the ratio of the volume of the larger one compared to the ratio of the volume of the smaller one? So to do this is, what you do is they give you a length value, and then there's area values, and then there's volume values, okay? So what you do here is this. If they give you a beach ball diameter, that's a length value. So what we'll do here is that we'll say we have the larger, and then we have the smaller. So the length value of the larger one is 3x. The value of the smaller one is just x. And then when you try to get a volume, what you do is you cube your length values, okay? So you cube them, and then you get a volume ratio of 9x squared over x squared. I'm sorry, 9x cubed. Let me see here. Okay, it's not 9x cubed. Let me go back here and redo this. Give me 1 second. All right, so let's go back here. You cube it. All right, so when you cube it, what you do is you do 3x cubed and you do x cubed. So when you get 3x cubed, you're going to get a final value of 27x cubed for the larger one, and then x cubed for the smaller one. And then you can compare that ratio. So you can get rid of the x cubes, and it'll be 27 to 1. 12 is D. What is the graph of the equation of y equals to 2 times 3 to the x power? All right, so the basic graph of 3 to the x power is going to look like this, where it crosses 0, 1. Okay, now what happens is that if it's going to get multiplied by the value of 2 now, that means that the y-intercept is going to move up. And so it's now going to be here, and it's going to be at 0, 2. All right, so let's see what kind of fits that idea so far. Well, A looks like it fits. B, it doesn't, so B is out. This is at 3, so that doesn't fit either, so we should cross that one out. And this is also at 2, so this one fits. So we're now stuck between either A or D. Now, the next thing is we could just plug in a value too to see what happens. So let's say that we said x equals to 1. What happens when x equals to 1? We get 2 times 3 to the 1 power, or 3 to the first power. It'll be 2 times 3, and we get 6. So the coordinate should be 1, 6. Now, which one has 1, 6? This is a 1, 6 over here. This is a 1, 4. So D is out. The answer is A for number 13. Number 14. The graph of the function f is shown, which the following is a value of x for which f of x is equals to 0. So they're looking for, when f of x equals to 0, they're looking for the points of intersection on the roots. So you have this, this, and this. So it could be -2. It could be +1. And it looks like the answer should be +1, but let me just check the other one just in case. And it could be like 2 point something, maybe like 2.2 or 2.3, but it doesn't look like it's available. So the answer should be C. 14 is C, where x is equal to 1. 15. The function a of t is equal to 12 times 2 to t over 6 moles the number of water hyacinth. I actually don't want to say that word. Hastens? In a population over time. where AT is the number of water hyacinths and T is the time in days since the population was first measured. What is the best interpretation of 2 to the power of T over 6 in this context? So what you do over here is take a look at this number. So they're saying T is the time in days. So first you know that T has to be days, right? So what they're saying over here, if you look at this bottom number of the denominator, they're saying that if T was equal to 6, then 12 is multiplied by 2. So what happens is when you're multiplying by 2, you're doubling. And they're saying that this will double whenever T is equal to 6 or some multiple of 6. Okay, so when T is equal to 6, it's going to multiply by 2. When T is equal to 12, it's going to multiply by 2 twice. So in this context, it means that every time you pass 6 days, it's going to double. So the answer for 15 is B. All right, on to the grid-ins. 16. The given equation can be rewritten as T equals to A times D plus BH, where A and B are constants. What is the value of A? All right, so they want you to get T by itself in this equation. So what we'll do is first we'll say 4T is equal to, we're going to add 8D to both sides. And we're going to get 8D plus 12H. Divide everything by 4. T is equal to 2D plus 3H. And we only really care about the A value. So the A value is the value in front of D, so A is equal to 2. The answer for number 16 is 2. 17. In the figure shown, BC is parallel to AD, where AB is equal to CD, so it's isosceles trapezoid. What's the perimeter of this quadrilateral? Okay, so if this is 6 in the middle, that means that this is 6 going down. And this is 10. So if I do 26 minus 10, I'm going to get 16, right? And then this 16 is going to be divided by 2, and that gives you 8. So that means that this is going to be 8 here, this is 8 here, and this is going to be 10 over here. Okay, 6, 8, 10. So this is going to be 6, this is 8, and then this is a Pythagorean triple. You can get that by saying 6 squared plus 8 squared. And if you do that, it'll equal to 10 squared. So AB is equal to 10. All right, so then what's the perimeter? The perimeter is going to be the two sides. It's going to be 10 plus 10 plus 10 on top with the BC. And then plus the 26 on the bottom. So we're going to get 30 plus 26, and we're going to get, is going to get 56 as the perimeter. So number 17, the answer is 56. Number 18, if x squared minus 2x minus 1 is equal to 0, and the equation has solution of x is equal to n plus rad k and x minus rad k, and n and k are positive integers, what is the value of n plus k? So to do this question, you should use the quadratic equation. The quadratic equation is negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a, where in this case a is equal to 1, b is equal to negative 2, and c is equal to negative 1. So if I plug in all of those values, I'm going to get positive 2 plus or minus the square root of negative 2 squared is 4 minus 4 times 1 times negative 1. And that is all going to be over 2 times 1, which is 2. Continue my work. I'm going to get positive 2 plus or minus the square root of 4 plus 4 is 8 over 2. And then this becomes 2 plus or minus 2 radical 2 over 2. And then this becomes, divide everything by 2 on the terms, and you're going to get 1 plus the square root of 2, plus or minus 2. Okay, 1 plus or minus the square root of 2. And so what is the value of n and k? Well, n then has to be equal to the number 1. K has to be equal to the number 2. So if I do 1 plus 2, the answer should be 3 for number 18. Okay, we have number 19. It says x and y is the solution to the given system of equations. What is the value of x? Okay, so if they want us to find the value of x, what I can do is multiply the top equation by 7 to get rid of y. I'm going to get 28x plus 7y plus 49. And then on the bottom equation, we're going to get 2x minus 7y equals to 1. Oh, and I wrote a plus sign there. Sorry about that, guys. There should be an equal signs. All right, and then what I do is I just add these two equations together. I'm going to get 30x, and these guys cross out, and that equals to 50. Then if I divide both sides by 30, I'm going to get x is equal to 50 over 30, which is x is equal to 5 over 3. So for 19, the answer is 5 over 3. All right, last question, number 20. If half x plus 5 is equal to kx plus 7, and the given equation k is a constant, the equation has no solution. What is the value of k? In a situation where there is no solution, it means that these two slopes have to be equal. So for number 20, a little bit of a gift to us, k is just equal to half. The answer is 1/2. Okay, so that is the conclusion for the no calculator section of the March 2021 exam. I'm going to be including some timestamps below just to group up the questions a little bit if you want to skip to any particular question. Again, if you have any comments or anything, questions about the test itself, please leave in the comment section below. Thank you all again, and happy studying, and like and subscribe.